a simple answer to that. No doctor, no person, no one can tell you, oh, you'll be healed in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And you don't know what to expect. This year was the most challenging, the most difficult. I got these terrible injuries, the house, the fires, so many things that are trying to knock me off my feet. It's either going to make you or break you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of King's World. Whoa, what a crazy effing week we just had. From the top guy in the world in our sport, having some issues with the law, to major coaches getting fired, to people pulling out because of health reasons. And I mean, a lot of crazy stuff happened in just the past 7 days. And, you know, I had a completely different show planned, but hey, you know, man, we got to roll with the punches. So we're going to put that aside and we're going to go with something else this week. We're going to talk about all the that is happening in the sport right now, all the gossip. We're going to make this like a TMZ type thing. We're going to have a little bit of fun this time. I'm going to give you my opinion as to what's going on, and we're going to give you some inside stories as to some Olympia hype. You know, we got 7.5 weeks to the Olympia. These guys, you know, I know because I've been there. I know what 7.5 weeks means. It means crunch time. It means you got to put the pedal to the metal. You got to get there. You got to start grinding really, really hard, because it's between 7 weeks and about 4 weeks out where you become that psycho. You have to put everything aside. Girlfriends, wives, children, you whatever. Put the blinders on and go ahead. Lee Haney, this is a true story, used to move out of his house with his family, his wife, everything there, and move into a tiny little crappy apartment the last 8 weeks before the Mr. Olympia, just so he can focus on one goal and one point. Dexter Jackson moves, leaves Jacksonville, goes to Venice, gets into a little apartment and just puts the blinders on and goes straight ahead. These are the kind of sacrifices that you have to make when you're an IFBB Pro Elite. Okay, so a lot of crazy stuff. Let's talk about it. Here's some gossip in the world of the IFBB and the upcoming Olympia. Here we go. So we're going to start out with the biggest story that's hit our industry in a very, very long time. Shawn Rhoden. Shawn Rhoden right now has rape allegations against him. The powers that be are coming down on him hard. AMI kind of pulled out and said, hey, you know, we don't want you at our show. The IFBB came in and said their thing, and everybody, it's just a big cluster right now as to what's going on. You know what? I'm an American citizen, and, you know, I'm a little bit astute to what the laws are in this country. And one thing that I've been told from the beginning till now is you are innocent until you're proven guilty. So that we have to keep in our minds. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that people are starting to think right now and say, but listen, we don't know shit. We got to figure out, we got to wait until the facts come out and see what's going on. I understand from a corporate point of view as to why some people are pulling out and why people are doing what they're doing. But again, it goes back to the same thing. You are innocent until you're proven guilty. So let's see what the facts are before we make up our decisions. So as of now, our current champ, Mr. Shawn Rhoden, is out. So the first time in the history of the Mr. Olympia contest, Mr. Olympia cannot compete in the show because of legal reasons. So that's number one. We put that aside. Okay, what else we got going? William Bonac, who I call the compact version of Kai Green. It looks like the Incredible Hulk came and pushed on Kai's shoulders and compacted down a little bit, and then you got William Bonac. That's not a bad thing either. William Bonac, thick, freaky, and I like him. I like his personality. I like his in-your-face type of personality. You know me. That's how I am. So you got William Bonac. He's having problems with his coach. There was a big thing happening online. some words were said, some fighting was going on. Who knows what the hell is going on there? I mean, they both got their points. One man has, money. The other guy has hard work. Now you got to try to put them together. I think, in my personal opinion, William is making a mistake just in the reason of you can't leave your coach 7 weeks out before the Mr. Olympia. It doesn't work that way. You need that expertise. You need that extra eye to look at you. Listen, I don't know what's going on there. I just know from what I read online and all the little rumors I hear here and there. But I think that William should definitely sit down and try to work this out with Neil, because if they don't, this is only looking bad for William. William has a good shot now, especially if Mr. Roden's out. A lot of windows and a lot of doors are opening up for the other guys. So, William, that's just my opinion, bro. Let's see what happens. Now, Phil Heath. Everybody was all Phil, this is stomach, bubble gut. Now look at you. Everybody now is begging for Phil to come back. I swear, man, the bunch of most fickle fans ever. When you're sitting at the top of the fucking hill, you're the king of the mountain. Everybody hates you. Oh, he's this, he's that. As soon as you step away, the sport goes down the toilet. Now everybody's like, Phil, come back. Phil, please come back. Look, Jesus Christ, people. I mean, seriously. Phil Heath, I don't know what the hell you're doing right now, brother. I don't know what Hani has planned for you. But if you're in shape, if you can pull your shit together, get back in there. Let's put a little bit of class into this show. Let's make the Olympia what it's supposed to be, the premier show in this world. And for the fucking love of God, let's bring it back up to the status of where it should be. Look, man, everybody loves to hate. Yeah, but as soon as you're down, everybody loves to love. That's just human nature. Phil, come back, brother. We're waiting for you, man. Don't listen to these idiots. Just come back. Boom. Okay, now what? What else can we do to spice things up? So Mr. Olympia is out. The 7-time Mr. Olympia is out. The third place winner, the compact version of Kai William, he's fighting with his coach. Then what happens? It opens up a huge barn door for the Oxygen boys, the boys from Kuwait, Rolly and Brandon. So now everybody's on their jock. Oh, Rolly, he's the monster that's going to come in, and Brandon, he just won the Arnold Classic. Yes, I agree. These two guys have a very, very good chance, and the window is opening up. But, as I said before, and it seems like I'm the only one who has the to say it, and I'll say it again, as long as they stay at Oxygen Gym and they keep getting bigger, they're going to lose their conditioning. That is just how this sport works. Whether you like to believe it or not, the bigger you get, you sacrifice conditioning. The more conditioned you get, you sacrifice size. You have to find the balance in the middle. Unfortunately, those boys at Oxygen Gym only see one thing. Size, get bigger. Let's explode. That's all they see. I don't know what kind of guys, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. Hey, they might have, Brandon's got a mind of his own. He's got a mouth. He can speak. If Brandon turned around and said to those boys, hey, listen, maybe we should think about a little bit more conditioning. Rolly, bring back the night of, when he won the New York Pro. Bring that conditioning back. If these two guys meet in the middle, size and conditioning, very good chance for both of them to be 1 or 2 at the Olympia, since the champ, the ex-champ, and all these problems, it looks like to me this year's Olympia is going to have a little asterisk next to it. I'm sorry to say it like that, but that's what it looks like. And now we come to the last man on this top 6 list, Mr. Dexter Jackson. Right now, I went and I texted Dexter just about a week ago, and I said to him, Dexter, I don't give a living what you're doing right now. You make sure you put the blinders on, because all the stars are aligned for you right now. all these problems, this and that. This is the perfect opportunity for Dexter to bring in the 2008 Dexter Jackson and win the Olympia one more time and retire on top of that mountain. How sweet is that going to taste? Come on, Dexter. Retire, win the Olympia, and right there on stage, turn around and say, thank you, the most wins of all time, Hall of Famer, and I'm retiring right here tonight. Go out like a beast, man. It's right there in front of you, Dex. And here's a little bit of a motivation. I hope this helps. Who's my pick? Dexter Jackson. I think Dexter, if and only if he still has his wheels. I don't care how great your genetics are. Nobody on this planet has better genetics than Kevin Levrone. I don't care who you are. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Kevin had the most phenomenal genetics ever. Even Kevin lost his legs. If Dexter still has his legs, he has the best chance of all of them to win that Olympia and retire on top of that mountain. Dexter, you're my pick. All right, so now we're going to add 2 asterisks at the end of all that I just said right now. Kai Green. Kai Green is still top 3 in the world if he wants to be. He's not in the show. And no matter what he says, no matter what Palumbo is saying, no matter what this guy or that guy is saying, I don't believe Kai is going to do it. Unless the promoter of the Olympia, Dan Solomon, who happens to be a really good guy. I know Dan. I know that he's a genuine good guy who likes the sport. He's not a bodybuilder, which actually helps, believe it or not. He likes the sport and he wants to help. I don't know what he's got going. Are they going to give him a special invite or whatever? But Kai's out and Big Rammy's out. His coach, his life, his gym, his everything's been changed again. So here we go. All the top bodybuilders in the world are either out or they got huge problems. What the hell is going on here, man? This year's Olympia will have an asterisk next to it. I don't want to say that. Trust me, I'm still a fan. I love this sport more than anything, but I don't see it any other way. And to put a cherry on top of the cake, the Iranian freak, Hadi Choopan, decides to say, he said, I'm not going to do 212. I'm just going to go do the open. What happens? He wins. And his conditioning is, he's the only guy right now that's bringing in the 1990s condition. And what happens? He can't get a fucking visa to come compete. What the hell is going on, man? This is just a big cluster. Here we go. 2019 Mr. Olympia. Boom. Okay, here we go. Questions. Every week, I answer 3 questions. And guess what? I'm getting a ton of questions being sent to me. Thank you, everybody, for that. Question number 1. Question number 1 comes from Khaki Q. Khaki Q asks, love the videos. Keeps me motivated to do more each time I work out. Wanted to get your thoughts on tattoos and bodybuilding. Can being covered up in tattoos affect your bodybuilding career? Yes and no. I mean, it depends on what kind of tattoos and how much you have. If you're walking around like a freaking painting, of course, it's going to be a little bit of a detraction. But in general, tattoos here and there, Dorian Yates, Chris Cormier, Lee Priest, they did well. Everything is fine. Plus, there's such a thing called tattoo cover-up. The color, the paint that you put on in your body covers most of that shit anyway. So the answer in general, no, tattoos are fine. Okay, question number 2 comes from Rylan Holder. Hey King, do you have an age recommendation for beginning gear? And what are the steps for beginners? Come on. Really? You're talking about gear? Listen, first of all, I'm going to make this very general. If you decide that you want to go that route, you have to make the right decision as far as where you're getting the stuff from. Are you getting it from the local juice head in the gym who's probably selling you MCT oil, who's probably giving you, niacin and telling you that it's Anadrol or something? Come on. You got to have the right sources, first of all. Second of all, 18. That's the number right there. If you're under 18 years of age, you're wasting your time. You're going to mess up your hormones. You're going to shrink your balls. You're going to get all zittied up and you're going to get bitch tits. And that's not a very good look for you kids. Trust me on that one. So keep it at 18 and be careful where you're getting the stuff from and be smart. All right, question number 3 from Probably Not Philip. How do I get my delts popping and big? I always lagged with my shoulders. Okay, so Shoulders, I get this a lot. Some of us are blessed, and I have to be honest with you guys. Me personally, if I train my calves, my shoulders grow. If I wake up in the morning and I scratch my balls, my shoulders grow, okay? That's just me. This is my genetics. It's like Phil Heath's arms. No matter what he does, his arms are going to grow. That's me and my shoulders. But I've learned through all these years of experimenting and training on myself and seeing my training partners and all that stuff, it has to do with a process to take each time you go in. You got to pour as much blood into the muscle as possible. So here's what I want you guys to do if you want those shoulders. One, you want to start out with a power movement, a press, military press, power cleans, anything that's a press over the head. That's what you want to do. Then move into the lateral movements. The laterals, but you got to do drop sets, supersets, giant sets, reps, reps, reps. Get your training partner to stand behind you, put his hands right under the elbows, and keep your monkey moving. And you want to hit all three heads, front, side, back, front, side, back. And when you finish, you want to do some gymnastics, isometric movements. Go do a handstand against the wall and try to hold it for 60 seconds or maybe even 120 seconds. That is the way you build your shoulders, through pump, power, and reps. Okay, as you guys can see, I'm sweating my Persian balls off. Why? Because it's 120 degrees outside, but who cares? I'll deal with it. So that's another episode of King's World. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We got a lot more stuff coming, and we're going to start expanding in something that you guys wanted to see. Me in the gym actually demonstrating exercises. That's coming too. Also, like I promised, a new segment called Guess Who, where I'm going to imitate certain people in the sport, and you guys are going to have to guess who I'm imitating. Again, love you guys. Keep those questions coming. And as always,